Hi, this is Shannon Farnon, and I am known as the voice of Wonder Woman on Super Friends and Challenge of the Super Friends.
And Shannon, do you have any fond memories of doing Wonder Woman, how you first got into the character and so forth?
Well, actually, it was quite a surprise in my life to be doing that in the first place. I had always planned to include voiceover work in my career, but it had never occurred to me that I would be doing it in that arena. So, much to my surprise, I got a call from a director whom I had worked with on a live commercial for Flintstone vitamins. And I just played a mommy in the commercial and worked with the director named Wally Burr. And Wally called and asked me if I would come to an audition for this cartoon at Hanna-Barbera. And lo and behold, it was Super Friends, and I was there to audition for Wonder Woman. Well, since she was a favorite cartoon of mine as a young girl, that was a pretty special move. And of course, I had no idea what she should sound like or where we were going to go with this, and had no artificial expectations of actually getting the role. So we worked on it and determined that she was going to be as strong as the supermen that were involved. And as Wally would say, just put on your boots and start talking. So we did play with her quite a bit over the years. She went from being very strong and quite butchy to a more feminine approach at times, and occasionally when I would get a little too soft in an area, Wally would just remind me to take off my shirtwaist dress and put my boots back on.
When you mentioned Wally Burr a little bit ago, you mentioned a commercial. He mentioned that to me too. He mentioned the first time I interviewed him, he talked about a bunch of commercials he had done with Hanna-Barbera.
Yes, he had, and that's how I worked with Wally the first time. As a matter of fact, I loved his work so much, his direction in Super Friends, that I actually asked him at one point if I'm ever in a play and can have my choice of director, I certainly would love it if it was you. I mean, he's really a wonderful director. He's very, very much involved in whatever he's doing. He knows every role. He knows where he wants to go, where he wants to be. And he wrote a lovely letter saying how much he enjoyed working with me, etc., etc. It's a sweet letter. And then also said, if I do find that there's a stage company in need of a director, he would definitely be interested. It didn't happen, and it was just a nice memory to have.
Yeah.
Hi, this is David Kaye. Just want to say thank you to Wally Burr, one of the first directors I worked with in animation, and one of the reasons I'm here. Just a great guy. Some of the cartoons I've been involved in over the years, my first series I ever worked with was with Gordon Hunt in Exo Squad. It was a real pleasure to work with Gordon as well. Played Hallis, Vince Pellegrino, among others, and I think Draconis. Feed the vermin. I think that was the line. I remember. G.I. Joe, of course. Played General Hawk. And did an animated movie short with Wally. Quick, follow me toward the danger. Yo, Joe! Stuff like that. In the mid-'90s, I was cast as Megatron in the Beast Wars franchise. Of course, the Transformers franchise. I was involved with him for about 15 years up until this past year, and it's just been a great ride. Of course, you all remember Megatron, leader of the Predacons. Terrorize! Ah, Rat Trap, what a pleasant surprise. But it shall avail you not. No. Side guns! I don't know if that was the exact scene, but that was one of the things I remember. And of course, the famous rubber ducky scene that everyone seems to love. I have a collection of rubber ducks that go back to around 1998. And there's a bunch of other cartoons in the middle of that. Feature film with Pixar, the first 4 minutes of Up. I was the announcer. Did some stuff on G.I. Joe Renegades this year and some stuff on the regular show and Flapjack and working with a ton of my heroes, and it's been just tons of fun. Of course, we can't forget Optimus Prime from Transformers Animated. It was a surprise to me when I was cast, because I thought I was going to be, again, the bad guy, but I went from Megatron to Optimus Prime. Bumblebee! No! Not this time, Megatron. Transform and roll out! Something like that. So anyway, thank you, Wally. Thanks to everyone, and thanks for watching cartoons. It's been tons of fun. And there's more coming.
Wally was really good. He knew what he wanted to hear. So if you kind of gave him something that wasn't what he expected, he would let you know, no, that's not quite what I, try it again, and he would even, which I didn't mind, to give you a line reading. And, if somebody who's the producer or the director is giving you a line reading, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
Saves a lot of time.
Yep.
Because sometimes people on the other end of the glass pre-hear something. They know what they want it to sound like, and you just sort of have to guess what they're hearing.
He used to say that a lot of times, and this is, I don't know if you remember Morgan Lofton or not, who was...
Oh, I do.
Yeah, she was telling me that Wally would have to get on the guys sometimes, because the guys were the ones that usually wanted to clown around the most. And
oh, yeah, we were the good girls. We would just sit there and wait for our lines, and in between takes, the guys would be hysterically funny, and then Wally would have to say, okay, guys, okay, come on, let's go back to this. And she had a really deep voice, so she was a good contrast to me.
Yeah.
The Baroness, she had the really deep, rich kind of voice, and I was more like, here, I'm more of a man than you'll ever be, Joe. That kind of a butch gal.